And we're back with the Screen Team, and we're almost finished with this hour-long edition of the Screen Team, all brought to you by the fine folks that come here and do reviews each and every week. And we've got a new pair to introduce to you. We've got Doug and Stacy on this next review. Doug and Stacy, so good to see you guys again. How are you?
How's it going, man?
So we're doing real good, man. Real good. We're getting ready to review the movie Point Break. And you guys remember Point Break back from the early 1990s, right? This is a movie that I have seen like a billion times, but it's been like 15 years since I've seen it. Like, this is one of those movies that would come on like Saturday afternoon, on the local Channel 11 TV up in St. Louis, and they'd show it
KPLR, man.
They'd show it like every Saturday for like 2 or 3 months, and I'd just watch it. But like I said, I haven't seen it in many, many years, and I was kind of interested to see on how it would hold up, and I still enjoyed it. I still felt like I was, that particular age when it came out, watching it and really enjoying it. And it's just a good action-packed adventure with a good cast. It's got surfing in it, something I've always wanted to do, but I've never had the guts to do it.
Right.
So yeah, man, Point Break is still.
Your wife has it challenged you to surfing?
I'm kind of surprised about that, man. I'm surprised about that.
She probably does that. She probably already knows how.
No, she doesn't know how to do that. But yeah, that's kind of her forte, is to get me to do stuff that I'm not really, into doing.
Well, after she hears this, watch out, man.
Well, the girl in there, she gives a free lesson, so you could get a head start.
Yeah,
you could and then surprise her.
Now,
and be like, I already know how to do that.
When I see Lori Petty's character, with the short hair and the spikiness, it reminds me of a younger Sabrina J. That's all.
It kind of sort of does.
That's all I'm saying, man.
One of these days, she'll walk in there and he'll be jumping up on the board.
Yeah.
She's like, what are you doing? Nothing. I'm not doing anything.
So Point Break, was this a familiar choice for you guys as well, or is this like one of the first times you saw it?
Oh, no, I've seen it several times, but like you, it's been years since I've actually watched it because you get burnt out on it.
Of course.
But there were things about the movie I'd forgotten about. As time does to you. You forget, oh, yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah.
So.
Stacey, what about you? Was this the first for you, or had you seen it before?
I probably haven't seen it since it came out in 1991. Maybe caught little snips of it here and there, but yeah, I hadn't seen it in 20-something years.
So what did you think? Did you enjoy it, or were you like, I can pass this one?
I enjoyed it, but there was parts of it that were kind of boring to me,
Like what were some of the parts when he was surfing, or when he was doing more of the detective
kind of
stuff?
That night surf where they had the big party and then they all went, and that part I was kind of like looking at my phone and and then, but I listened to the whole thing, but there were parts I wasn't real excited about, I guess.
Now, we have this main story where we've got Keanu Reeves' character, what's his name, Johnny Utah?
Johnny Utah,
former Ohio State Buckeye quarterback.
And he's now an FBI agent, basically, right? Oh, yeah. I've become an FBI agent.
Yeah, man.
So he is assigned to a new case with a new partner, and his partner is played by Gary Busey, who is a madman.
He has the biggest teeth in Hollywood.
Hey, listen, after watching them, I will say this. I kind of wish they'd made more cop movies together.
You like the chemistry between
them?
them?
I liked them as partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that they run a risk of ruin it for somebody that's never seen it, when they kill off Gary Busey's character, it was kind of sad. I'm sorry, so I kind of...
Spoiler alert.
Sorry.
After the fact.
Whatever.
If you haven't seen it in 20 plus years,
well, you know what? Tell the people that's never seen it.
When you get to the part, you're going to figure out what's coming. So, I mean...
Oh, it's kind of obvious to see.
So we got these two guys, and they're trying to figure out who's robbing all these banks.
Right.
We've got these dead presidents who put masks on their face as they rob banks all throughout California, I believe. And they're having a hard time, because these guys are good. They're professionals. They don't leave traces of fingerprints or identification or
in
whatever.
And out in 90 seconds.
Yeah, they're good. They know which money to get rid of, the ones that are marked and this and that. So they're good. And they've avoided the law for many, many years. But Keanu Reeves and Gary Busey, they're gonna get their guys. So they decide to go undercover because they think these bank robbers are surfers. So Keanu Reeves decides to play a Southern California surfer. Big stretch, right?
Actually, hey, I was reading up on this one, and this was this is where he learned to surf. And so
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah,
Yes.
him and Patrick Swayze and Lori
Petty?
They took him to Hawaii, and that's when they learned to surf. And Keanu Reeves still surfs to this day. So
that's
this
so
is
cool.
kind of this was his first little, actual surfing thing.
Another little interesting tidbit, and she pointed this out to me last night. His character in the movie couldn't play football no more because he hurt his knee.
Correct.
Actually, Keanu Reeves was a minor league hockey player.
He was an aspiring hockey player.
Yeah.
Who busted up.
Who hurt
knee.
his knee.
Yeah.
Had to go,
So it's
he
kind
just
of
had to go into acting.
Yeah.
I mean,
he just had to
gosh.
be like Bill and Ted, So to hear that voice come out of him, and you see his face, it makes perfect sense. And then you hear he's from Canada, and you're like, eh, really? How are you from Canada? Eh? Because he sounds so California, and he looks so California.
He's an actor. Ben.
I know.
Can we talk about...
The movie?
no, I want to talk about a pretty important plot to this movie. Can we take a few minutes to talk about Patrick Swayze's hair in this film?
Oh, Lord.
I loved it. I did.
Was,
and
that
I,
thing was out of control. Man.
but if you paid attention, like they did a really good job. Like they made his eyebrows blonde, his beard is blonde.
They made him totally California surfer. I mean, he went from Roadhouse to surfer guy.
And you guys had mentioned Gary Busey and Keanu Reeves hitting it big during that time, but Swayze had a good run. He was doing Roadhouse to Ghost to this one, and
And one part, he actually had to have his
Dirty
stunt
Dancing.
double in there because he was on, I think it was the Ghost, or maybe it was another, I don't know, it was one other one. So, like in one of those scenes where he's in a mask, it's actually his stunt double because he wasn't even there.
because he was doing something for Ghost, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and here's another funny little tidbit. Anthony Kiedis is in this movie. And I was reading up on it, and it said that they had like this, I guess it's probably today is the stunt choreographer or whatever, but he was the fight coordinator, and everyone was required to go to fight practice. Like you had to go to fight. It was part of it.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony Kiedis didn't show up for whatever reason,
I can guess.
which is why he gets knocked out with the first punch because he didn't come to practice. So he didn't know what he was doing. So I thought that was fun.
That is funny. I think he played the part perfectly, but his acting definitely needed some help.
When him and Flea both back then were doing a little bit of character roles. They nailed it perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, they are so California.
Oh, for sure.
It just fits those guys perfect.
So Point Break, is this something you guys want to see again down the line?
I would. I kind of like you. If it comes on TV, I'll probably sit there and watch it.
Yeah.
Pick up in the spots. But to actually go out and rent it, no, probably not. But it's just a good movie. I was aggravated when I heard that they were going to do the reboot. Like, really? I mean, I know it was the 90s, but it wasn't really that long ago to do a reboot on a kind of an iconic movie, really. And I won't see the reboot. I refuse to see the reboot because it just doesn't make any sense to me for them to remake a movie like that.
Did you guys hear that they were supposed to make a sequel to this movie?
Yes, and it got canned.
Yeah.
Why?
But do you know they did they started this thing where you go to it's Point Break Live,
No.
and they draw a person out of a couple of people out of the audience to do certain parts, and they just read off a cue card, so you're part of the play.
Really?
Yeah, it's apparently it was this whole big, I don't know, we live here, so I would have probably never heard of it, but I was reading up on it there online, and I thought, well, that would be fun, just go to the show and then be like, Chris Berger, tonight you're playing the role of Johnny Utah.
This is why Stacy's awesome. She should have her own site, Stacypedia or something like that.
Stacypedia, there you go. We're on it.
I would just have to. It would just be links to other things because
Hey, that's all right, man. giving us the way of life on the internet, man.
That's right.
The movie's called Point Break. You can find it on DVD. Guys, thank you so much for closing out the show. Appreciate you. That's Doug and Stacy as we review the movie Point Break. We'll be back again next Saturday for some more movie reviews right here on KWOC and the Screen Team. And remember, we want you to know before you go.